And now let's get into discussion about the impact that Sombra is going to have on Overwatch. Huge, straight off the bat.
Oh yeah, she's going to change the meta entirely. There's lots of shields. There's lots of
many
Lucio, Reinhardt. Yeah, your Mercy's not going to get that clutch res if she's hacked.
I think this is a super smart design choice for Blizzard. Maybe some tuning is needed, but this is basically a safety valve if Reinhardt gets out of hand. If the Lucio all-in death ball drop the beat comp gets out of hand, that Mercy coming in to res her team. There was nothing you could do about that previously aside from just killing her with a miraculous headshot. Right. But now you can actually hack her or EMP when you see she comes in and then she's going to die before her silence is up. Yeah. And it's very versatile too. You can use it to engage fights, to strip shields from people. You can use it in defense when Lucio drops the beat.
If you drop a wombo combo and they're in your Zarya ult and you've got a Pharah going up, but there's still a bunch of shields, guess what?
It's huge. You know what else it's huge for? Diva's ult.
Yes.
So Reinhardt, the classic defense to the Diva ult is everybody get behind me.
Yeah.
Sombra just comes in. She's like,
nope.
She can. Well, no, she can just negate that. Can she just negate that with her right click?
No.
No, so it doesn't go through shields. That's something that's
the right click doesn't hit shields.
If you're behind the Reinhardt and you hack him, he won't have the shield anymore, right?
Yes.
But you can't do it like
so
through
it does
the
have a
shield.
projectile. Interesting.
Sort of. Well, sort of.
Well, so it's a double effect with her EMP because not only does it hack them, which stops something like Diva from using her defense matrix, but it also destroys shields. So if you're holding up a Reinhardt shield and the Sombra EMP is in front of you, it goes to 0 HP and you have to recharge all over again. So
the EMP, but the right click, you can't have a shield in between your line of sight.
Yes, right.
Okay,
if you try and hack a Reinhardt with the shield up, it will not work.
Unless you're behind him.
It was not like that at the BlizzCon build. I'm pretty sure. I am like 99% sure that I did it, and I was like, wow, this is incredibly powerful. So maybe some tuning has happened since then.
Maybe.
Other than that, she further punishes Torbjorn, which I think is very funny on PC because he's kind of already a low-tier hero.
He's incredibly fun. I love playing him, but competitive scene, it's like, okay, your turret's dead. Now what do you add?
It's so funny how that character was just like everywhere when the game launched, and then now I play, I never ever see him anymore.
No.
Yeah,
he's got the nerf bat hard. I mean,
especially when Sombra is going to be in every game. So also in this patch is a one hero limit for quick play, which I think is huge.
Needed.
That was
Thank
thunderous
God.
applause when that was announced.
Yes.
Good.
But if you're trying to test Sombra, you basically have to go into the arcade mode, which we'll get into later. Other than that, I think that her tool set, not only does it kind of disable and enable your team to counter these ultimates and set up these huge pushes, but it also lends itself very well to just assassinating people.
Yeah.
You see a Mercy who's low, you see a Lucio who's low, you stealth in, you drop your E first of all, you drop your translocator, you stealth in, you maybe hack them, or you just kill them straight out. A lot of people mess around with the hack when people are low. No, just shoot them in the head. They'll die. And then you just E back to safety. And you can see that person through walls. So she's very good, I think, for securing picks on your team if you're good with her. And she always has that getaway card to get back to safety, to get back to her team. There's no range limit on that. It goes through walls. Super powerful. Finally, I do think that there are counters to her. And I think we should talk about that.
I was reading about some of them earlier.
What were the ones you were reading about?
I saw a lot of Winstons, which makes sense because Winston is very good at closing the gap with those low HP heroes like Genji and Tracer and just like staying on them, especially since, it's lightning just locks on. And so, they may, you could probably hack the Winston, but he's still probably going to run at you and just start zapping you. And then unless you warp away, which, unless you had the foresight to even do that, you're probably dead. So that's that one. Another one I saw was actually Widowmaker because of her ultimate. So even if she's invisible, your teammates would still be able to see the outline of her through walls, through everything, by activating Widowmaker's ult. So not necessarily, Widowmaker killing her, which can happen, but just helping the team find her, because that's honestly one of the hardest parts.
If a Winston is on you, you are not going to cloak.
Oh, no.
Because the damage is going to interrupt it immediately, you're out of cloak, and then you're out of options if you don't have the translocator. And she doesn't really have any other way to get away. Yeah. She's not going to kill Winston unless she's aimbotting and just getting pure headshots.
I still wouldn't even think she could kill a Winston. She has 200 health?
Something like
200
that.
200 health?
200
yeah,
health.
That's not happening. Yeah. That's good. I think we're going to see a rise on tanks that are dependent on the fact that they are meat shields. not because of their actual shield.
Roadhog is still very strong.
Roadhog, yeah, Roadhog, cool hook. Thanks for coming out. I appreciate you guys. It looked really good.
If you somehow miraculously hack him mid-hook, he does not stop the hook like it does with other channeled abilities.
I love Roadhog.
Roadhog's the best.
He's just a one-man killing machine.
He's a one-man apocalypse.
Every time I've talked to somebody in a competitive game, picking an extra tank, it's like, okay, do we want like a pseudo DPS? Do we want a DPS and tank loathing? Yeah.
Just pick Roadhog. He fits into pretty much every and
comp.
if you've got a Roadhog who can hit his hooks, like MVP every game. I mean, my only ever legendary card on performance has been a Roadhog. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, it's great.
So Principal
chug through most damage.
Designer Scott Mercer had something to say on this topic when I asked him about maybe Sombra being a little bit OP. He said, once you actually start playing her, there are some counters that aren't immediately obvious, and I think we'll see that. I think people think she's overpowered. I don't think she's as overpowered as people are making her out to be, but I do think her toolkit is very powerful.
I don't even think she's all that overpowered.
I don't think she's overpowered either. I think she's a great answer for the current meta, and I think I disagree with Doug and agree with you that I think her skill ceiling is very high, and it's very good. It shows a trend of releasing characters that have increasingly more complex kits.
Sure. To be fair, I do think her skill ceiling is high, but I also think her barrier for entry is low because a lot of her abilities.
Isn't that the perfect character design?
Yeah, it is. Yeah. The final thing that we have to talk about, you both touched on it, is that she is most powerful when utilized good communication with your team.
Yes.
So basically, my ult's going off now, I'm hacking this person now, and that enables your team to do well because she can get kills on her own, but she is best utilized in team play like so many other heroes.